Hello everybody, I want to keep this video as short as I can and there's quite a lot to go over, so I'll get to the point. I believe pro teams in League do zero preparation around how the players are actually going to approach and execute particular teamfight situations. I'm talking mainly about objective fights that the teams themselves opt into. I understand some can argue that teamfighting is a playstyle choice and there are other ways to secure objectives by playing the map, but as I mentioned, I see a lot of teams opt into these teamfights only to have a very poor grasp on how to actually execute them. Not only that, but I personally believe teamfights will always be a core gameplay element of a team game like League. As I said, I'll keep this short and to the point, so I will show you only one example in this video. Of course, I don't expect you to accept my argument by just showing you one bad teamfight, however, I also don't expect to be able to make the case convincingly in one video anyway. So think of this video as more of an introduction to my argument, and in subsequent videos I'll give you more examples and hopefully we can get a conversation going. So if you agree or disagree with anything, feel free to let me know in the comments so I can address it in future videos. Now let's move on to the example. For this video, I'm going to look at a team fight between G2 and Part1 from the 2020 World Semifinals. This is game 1 of their best of 5 series. We're 20 minutes into the game with Part1 holding a significant goal lead as G2 decide to contest the Dragon, possibly seeing it as their best chance to get back into this game. I'm not arguing whether the decision to teamfight here is right or wrong, we're just gonna look at the execution. Now this is important. The goal lead is a little under 5k at 20 minutes. This is massive. In this case, even a perfect execution will still require Part1 making some sort of a mistake for G2 to even get something out of this fight. However, once again, we're just looking at the execution of this fight. I think the way G2 approached this fight falls short even in a more favorable game state. First, I'll play the fight in full so we can see what happened. Part1 put pressure in the mid lane in the form of the Herald being spawned and used that to walk into the river and get control. G2 teleported in Part1's jungle and appeared to be somewhat split at first. However, Part1 doesn't commit to a fight and both teams end up in the river with G2 having position on the Dragon. Here, G2 engages with Rakan, however Twisted Fate is able to flash out, no damage comes through for G2 and Part1 pick up 1 kill on the re-engage. Afterwards they run the rest of G2 down and are able to pick up the ace with only Hecarim falling down from Part1. The initial approach I don't have much to say about as I can't be sure what the call was from G2. Initially it looks like an attempt to flank behind Part1. Could have also been just Sylas teleporting to make sure he's there for the fight on time. My guess, this was a quick call to contest the Dragon with no real plan on how to do it. This results in players making different decisions with different timing. Lucian immediately starts wrapping around the pit to enter the river from the other side, while Rakan and Lilia linger around this area before they actually start making that move as well. This creates gaps between the players, giving an opportunity to Part1 to possibly catch someone out. However, Part1 don't commit, but are able to get the Renekton ultimate out. G2 use the Blast Cone and actually get in a good position in front of the Dragon, so let's look at the structure of both teams. What I'm referring to is these two lines. Both teams mirror the position as they use the width of the river to stay together without clumping. This initial position is really important. Think of this as the shape a team takes on the map as they posture around an objective. This is what will define how the fight is going to play out in terms of movement and the angles that are going to open up once everyone actually starts moving. We know what happens here. Rakan engages, the rest of G2 walk forward into a GP barrel with Twisted Fate flashing away from the engage, the fight pretty much ends for G2. So could we have seen this coming from this position? Our engage comes from one of the outside points on our line. So our follow-up comes from partly the center and partly all the way from the other side. This means our follow-up has to take this angle to reach the point of engage. You can now very clearly see the angle that opened up for Gangplank. our follow-up has to move across our opponent in order to reach the point of engage. Keep in mind, this happens pretty quick. Watch it in slow motion. You can even see some members start to move to the side, realizing they're walking into damage. Watch it now in normal speed. Engage, follow, take damage. Pretty quick if you ask me. This is why you need to look at these situations, because all players can do is react in the moment. One major hurdle teams need to get over when engaging a fight is the lag between engage and follow-up. As the player engaging will be using a movement ability that allows them to cover space quickly, while the follow-up will be more hesitant to do so. Not only that, the follow-up comes after the engage, so there's already a delay there based on the order of actions. The longer that delay, the easier for the opponent to react, both to get out of the engage and around to actually attack the backline. This engage from G2 fails on all fronts. The angle of the engage is less favorable to the follow-up, forcing them to take a longer path, simultaneously putting them in the line of fire. Also, it has no solution for when the opponent flashes or cleanses away. This is what I call a one-dimensional engage. The hope is you can pile onto a single target quick enough to take them out. The issue is, even in a more favorable game state, it's hard to get the timing right, and even if you do get it, the reward is a single kill while you commit a lot of abilities and take damage on your way in and possibly on your way out, making it quite likely that you have to give up position on the objective. Basically, this engage should never happen, and the fact it does at the world stage to me is an indication that the coaching staff behind teams is not taking a hard look at these situations. Now, for those who might say that this was G2's Hail Mary and they had no good options anyway, so it's better than nothing, in the next video I'll go over how G2 could have had a much better chance to possibly get something out of this fight. But also, I will leave you with another G2 fight that happened prior to this. Remember, one of the points I'm trying to make is that teams don't seem to be looking at these situations and trying to improve. So this fight is from the LEC against Fnatic, game 5 of the best of 5. So a pretty important game. Note, this time the gold is dead even. Watch this fight and see if you see any similarities to the fight against Part1. Again, be sure to leave any comments whether you agree or disagree, and I'll see you in the next video.
And you see your damage to stick. It is an Ocean Dragon and G2 appealing.
Arnold has just come back up, and Fnatic have every single ultimate except for the Gangplank one. I think Fnatic want to re-engage us. I think they want to fight G2.
Let's see right now, Caps takes a lot of damage. Here comes the Arnold.
All of the Forge God will find
That's
it.
huge!
That's massive! But Wonder has no damage to follow up. The rest of G2 are sticking on to the Ocean Dragon. The culling is melting through Wonder's HP bar. He's down, he's low, he's dead. A parlay to the face kills him. The Dragon is still inside the pit.
Self-made!
They get it! They get themselves the Dragon, and now they turn the attention onto the rest of GT. Helisan, can he find the flare? Yes, he does. Looking for the death sentence as well. Now he's in trouble though, as Hilly will get a heal! Reckless brings him back! The Dawning Shadow gives him a shield and a heal, and the rest of Fnatic continue the chase. Powder Kegs won't find themselves the targets, but Fnatic fight